We took a walk. Come take a walk with your boy. Come take a walk. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. My boy Tuck got the interview. Hendershot out there too. Shout out to my boy Jay Tuck at the Super Bowl. We gonna talk about this tweet that RJ Ochoa. Shout out to the boy, to the young boy. Shout out to RJ for posting the quote, posting the video. If you guys are on Twitter, go check it out. What up with y'all, man? We gonna talk about what Hendershot said at the Super Bowl, and then I'm walking, so we obviously can have some Q&A too. If you in here, make sure you hit that like button, and say what's up. Say what's up so I know that you're here. Trying to get this exercise in today. What's up, Jay Money? What's up, Action Jackson? What up, Clemente? What up? What's going on with y'all? Bear 24 said Hendershot drop passes left and right. Hopefully he catches a few passes in the bowl. So we got enough in here though. I'll talk, but make sure y'all hit that like button. So Hendershot essentially said the same thing that Dalton Schultz said, where if you can go check the tweet. RJ Ochoa put it out there. He also put the video. So I'm not taking anything out of context. And he wasn't really trying to throw shade at Dallas for real. I mean, obviously, when you got Dallas media, or really, if you think about it, national media wants to hear the differences too. If you think about it, national media always throws the keyword former Cowboy. That's always thrown out there. We can't help it, but the brand is the brand. The brand is damn near what the game is, the NFL. And so former Cowboy is always going to be thrown out there. So the question is always going to be asked, since the Dallas Cowboys, they never get to the NFC Championship game or the Conference Championship game. So it's always going to be asked to somebody who has some postseason success, what are the differences? Because guess what? As a fan base, we want to know those things. We want to know what the differences are between organizations and how our organization can get there. And so, the questions I asked, I know Tuck, I didn't get a chance to look at his video, but I did. So the video Tuck sent me was in the group chat between me and Rome, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to post it later on. And yeah, pretty much he just essentially said that there it's about winning. And in Dallas, it's about all the extracurriculars. It's about, all the other things. And so, to me, it brings me to this point, right? We talk about distractions a lot, right, as a fan base. And I know that a lot of people, when we're in the draft process, or if we're in the free agency market or whatever, right? We always talk about distractions. We don't want this person. He's too much of a distraction. He got too much going on, or this or that, or he's too flashy. He's a distraction. He's gonna be his ego, this and that, and blah 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 blah. But we constantly keep hearing things like we keep constantly hearing the same things over and over and over. And it's like, as a fan base, we got to stop turning a blind eye to it, no matter how the people left. We have to stop turning a blind eye to it. And these are the questions that have to keep getting asked to the front office. I mean, it's just countless players, countless players. And I think that it's ironic, though. Here's what I find ironic. Is that I think this is the third tight end to say those things. I know Martellus Bennett was talking about that. I know he was, but we talked about how Martellus Bennett had sour grapes on the way going out. I even hated Martellus Bennett when he left because of some of the things he was talking about with Romo and how Romo didn't have to compete when John Kitna was keeping them afloat and John Kitna was doing certain things. It was things I didn't understand. You know, what he was really getting at was how he didn't get an opportunity to really compete for the tight end job with Jason Witten. And I get it. But, you know, Martellus Bennett went on to be a Super Bowl champion tight end with New England. Now, you could say, oh, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. But we're talking about a winning environment. We're talking about winning. Dalton Schultz, when they asked him, I think the quote was, "It's a zoo dude," or something like that. And he talked about like what they do, where they have the tours and stuff go through, and you're lifting weights, you're working out, and all that type of stuff at the facility. And you know, I know I'll say the name because this is my dog. We had this disagreement before, but my guy AOC, Attack on Cowboys, he had an issue with, you know, guys coming in and knowing what it is when you sign up to be a Cowboy, and that's rightfully so. That's rightfully so, that you know what it is when you are being a Cowboy, and it can be perceived as weak, right? Because you have the opportunity in the NFL, you know, you're drafted by the Cowboys. Your job is to win football games. Your job is to play football. Your job is to try and make it about football. But let me tell you guys something. The guys that do that with this culture, here's the problem. The guys that try and do that try and fight through it, that try and make it about football, that try and change that here, those guys don't stay around too long. It's not celebrated when you are drafted by the Cowboys and you want to keep it strictly about football and you're not playing all those avenues and stuff like that. It's not praised, it's not rewarded. Instead, we make those guys the bad guys. We make passion for the game. We turn that into something different. We turn that into, oh, this isn't a team guy. Oh, this guy did this. This guy did that. I think that Mike McCarthy, in his ways, he did have flaws. Don't get me wrong. What's up, Max? Mike McCarthy did have his flaws and in his ways. But what I can tell you about Mike McCarthy, I didn't agree with everything that he did. But what I can tell you about him is that guy loves football. That guy wants it to be about football. He wants to win games. He wants to do things like in a football capacity. It just so happened that what you signed up for, you thought maybe your skins on the wall of winning the Super Bowl was enough for them to listen to you. But what they're going to tell you is, hey, I got 3 of them things. I got 3 rings. You got 1. And, you know, I'm the one selling the tickets. I'm the one selling the records. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. And then they got Mike McCarthy there looking like Otis from the Temptations. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. We can't overlook these things, man. We really can't. Peyton Hendershot, no matter what y'all thought about him, I thought he was good for the culture. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I do know that him and Ferg, I know they were close. I think part of what you're seeing from Ferg as far as diminishing, I think that having Henny next to him made him better. I thought that it made him better. I thought they fed off each other. I really like those guys together in the tight end room. And they found a way to split them up. And I know that Hendershot was struggling with confidence in Dallas. And as you guys know, confidence is everything, right? Confidence is a lot when it comes to the sport. Like, so having confidence and not having confidence is the difference between having a record-breaking season and then having a career-low type season. And I don't think that Hendershot, after that year, that he had the same type of confidence, you know. Not sure why, but I'm not here to talk about why he left. Oh yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. And I know that it's a little weird because I'm on my phone, so the way to hit the like button, I think it's like 3 dots on the top right-hand corner, and then you gotta hit the like button that way. I know it's a little weird. We got 51 in here and only 9 likes, so hit that like button so people know that we online and we chatting, so that people know. Make sure I miss no comments. All right, but yeah, it's like it's not so much about who said it, right? But it's about the accumulation. Like, we just keep getting, like, I think Awuzie, the corner, said the same thing when he went to Bengals. It's like all these role players, right? Because what I like to call them, I'm going to call them tryhards. Because Dallas loves them a bunch of tryhards. You know what I'm saying? They don't love to get the real good talent in here. Dallas loves tryhards. And when the tryhards make it about winning sometimes, not even the tryhards, because when the talent make it about winning, that talent is villainized. They get rid of some of these tryhards, and some of these tryhards go to other places. And, you know, instead of those tryhards in Dallas where they're starters or they have bigger roles, they go to these other places where it's about winning, and they are supporting cast to that. And some of these guys get rings. I mean, I know we cooked Tristan when he was in Dallas, but he went to Kansas City in a supporting role, and I think he got a title, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. You know what I'm saying? It's actually funny. Kansas City knows that we're good at drafting, we're good at evaluating talent, but Kansas City is better at developing it. They're better at knowing what to do with it. They're better at, you know, taking the pressure off of these guys and really, you know, honing in on what's important. Because in Kansas City, those guys, if they don't win there in Kansas City, they're not going to get the media attention. Kansas City is always, even though they're on the verge of a three-peat, Kansas City is always a losing season away from all that they have right now from the Empire. If they have a losing season, if they make it like, hey, we've won enough titles, we're good now, they know what it feels like to be the bottom of the totem pole. They know what that's like. When you come into Dallas, and that's what Peyton Hendershot was saying, hey, I didn't know anything else about anything else. This is all I knew in Dallas. But when I show up here, damn near identical to what Schultz said about Houston. But when I showed up here, this is what it was. It was about winning. It's just football and winning. Just football and winning. Imagine, guys, a game that you've grown up loving your whole life. Imagine that you get paid for it. And what they do is, hey, we're not asking you to do anything extra. We're not asking you to answer any dumb questions. We're not asking you to show up to these events. We're not asking you to change who you are. We're not asking you to throw on the Stetson. We're not asking you to shake hands and kiss babies. All we're asking you to do is to go out there and do what you've done your whole life. We'll coach you up. We're going to put you in the best possible situations. All we're asking you to do is just make it about football. We're not asking you to do anything extra. We're not asking for the glitz, the glamour. We're not asking for any of that. All we're asking you to do is play football. And I think that for somebody like that, for Hendershot, I think for a guy like that who doesn't have the most confidence in the world. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. For somebody who doesn't have the most confidence in the world, that could mean the whole world to you. That somebody believes in you. And all they're really asking you to do is to be who you are. We ain't asking you to get no crazy haircut. We ain't asking you to throw on no suit. We ain't asking for you to protect the brand. We ain't asking you to go against your ideals. We're just asking you to do what you did in college. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to pay you a little bit more money. That's the difference. And I think that, you can grow to appreciate the Cowboys for giving you the opportunity. Because also keep this in mind, guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of background on it. When Peyton Hendershot went undrafted, there were two places that really bid on him. Dallas outbid Kansas City for him because Kansas City saw the type of talent that he had and the type of traits that he had, just like Dallas. And they said, you know what? We want this kid too. We didn't draft him, but we want to bring him in here. And Dallas outbid them. So I think you grow to appreciate Dallas for doing that. But when you don't know what you don't know, and then it's just like, okay, all I've known is this. But then you go to where it's about football and you appreciate it. I think that you start to appreciate where you are and you probably hone in a little bit more. And I think that that's pretty much what he's saying. I don't even think that for those that have been in a relationship and you broke up with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And, instead of having bitter, feelings towards that person, when you've grown truly and you've truly healed, you appreciate that. You appreciate that experience. But you can reflect on it and move forward and figure out where the next relationship or where you as a person can grow and get better from that. And I think that that's what Henny was doing there. What's up, Talk Your Talk Media? What up, cuz? What up, cuz? What up, Keystone? What's up, man? Y'all hit that like button, man. We got 87 in here. We got 22 likes. Let me start reading some comments. Shaggy Shack, where am I at? Man, I'm just walking. I'm walking in my hometown, chilling. Listen, David Jenkins said, yeah, Anthony Hitchens, Chris Webber. Oh, it might have been Mike Weber. Damian Wilson, all got rings with the Chiefs. I think it was Mike Weber. See, Drawn for Baseball says, I remember Peyton, he's a weirdo. Oh, he a weirdo because he left? I don't know about that. I don't think he was a weirdo. From the people that I know that talked to him, they say that he was he was a good dude. He was a good dude, Mike Aldana says, some dudes want their 15 seconds of fame regardless of their role when they were with Dallas Cowboys. Mike, I don't think that. I think that you got to kind of watch what he was saying. But everybody can't be saying the same thing, bro. Like, not everybody want their 15 seconds of fame. Because I think that actually it was the fame part that throws them off when you're a true football player, when you're a true competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you talk about 15 seconds of fame. I think they got way more than that in Dallas, if that's what was driving them. They got way more of that in Dallas. I don't think it's about the fame. I think that it's about some of the scrutiny you get, some of the blame that you get for not winning. Our fan base can sometimes be really, really toxic when we don't know the real truth about how things are painted. Because I can firsthand tell you, there's a lot of information that I know that I don't speak about, because I don't want to hurt the brand of some of these players. And sometimes I don't want to hurt the brand of the Cowboys organization that we know and love. And also it's about protecting relationships too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I can personally tell you that it's not all roses, man. It's not. Colin Nixon said, Luka needs to hear this. That's funny. Jabari Showtime said, Mo Claiborne too. Damn, boss man fat. Yo, KC has plucked from our roster, and they have won rings with these guys. You know what I'm saying? They have won rings with these guys. Guys we called scrubs. Guys we call scrubs. And I'm going to tell you what it is. See, it's all about talent evaluation. It's also about Dallas really does care who's successful with the brand. Like, they want you to play the game. And they want you to be successful for what they provide you with. Like, I don't think that I've ever really heard a GM or an owner publicly say that their face of their franchise is going to have to do more with less. I don't think I've ever heard that in my life. Like, did Patrick Mahomes have to do more with less last year to win the championship? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He might have even had to do more with less for a good portion of this year before guys came back from injury. I don't think Kansas City ever publicly said that. Never. There was no deflecting. There was none of that. Like, hey, he getting paid, so he need to do more with less. There was none of that. And I think that that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kansas City said, you know what? Damn, Pat doing more with less right now. We don't know if that's sustainable. And that's the thing. We don't know if that's sustainable. Maybe we could win 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe we could be okay for a month. But damn, we need to go get him a receiver. And we need to do it in the worst way. Let's go get D-Hop, you know? Let's go get Kadarius Toney. And I'm not saying Kadarius Toney was good for them. But at the time, they had to do something. They couldn't sit on their hands. They knew what it is that they had was not sustainable. And I think that Dallas needs to realize that, you know, some of the things that they're asking our players to do with how they handle the cap and all that stuff is not sustainable. And even if it gets you through the year, something that D-Law said, these guys are running out of gas. You know, we got to be better at building our roster. Jared was right at Shotty's press conference when he said we absolutely can get better with the cap. Now, I didn't agree that he said that, you know, we're good at the cap. I've been doing this for however long. Because if you were good at it, you know, we wouldn't be talking about being around the rim. We'd be talking about being over the rim. Like, that statement will never not sound dumb to me. That will never not sound dumb to me. Because I'm a basketball player at heart. And I have played basketball. Like, bro, being around the rim, like, that sounds dumb. It sounds dumb to be around the rim. Like, what about making the shot? What are you talking about being around the rim? You guys know the people that are around the rim or that are celebrating being around the rim? They a bum-ass basketball player. You're a bum-ass basketball player if you claiming to be around the rim. For those that know you're not above the rim, you don't be happy that you're around the rim. No, you trying to make baskets any type of way that you can. Yeah, I might not be able to dunk. But guess what? I'm a Euro step. I'm going to figure out my spots on the floor where I can hit my mid-range jump shots. Or in Steph Curry's case, Steph ain't really above the rim like that. He can dunk, barely. But shit, Steph said, you know what? I'm going to figure out every inch of this court, and I'm going to be able to make a shot from everywhere on the court. You know what I'm saying? Nobody brags about being around the rim. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It sounds like you're building a bunch of losers. And Charles Haley said it, house of losers, right? Kima said Taco Charlton won the ring with KC. He did. I think he did. I thought he won one the first time. DC Big O, so the Cowboys have been hurting their brand for 3 decades now. Yes, they have. They have and they haven't. Because I also been told this. I've been told that, you know, if they're talking about you, then that's a good thing. All press is good press, right? And I think that that's a win for them. So for us fans, it's not winning when we're not winning games or we're not winning championships. But to them, they're winning in the balances, the checks and balances. They're winning. They're winning on the income statement. They're winning big time. Like the first thing they'll tell you is, well, we had a record-setting, ticket holder or season ticket holders. Like that's where they measure their wins. They measure their wins with staying under the salary cap and season ticket holders. So that lets you know what's important to them. It's important that they manage the salary cap. They don't care about winning. You can't talk about salary cap and then mention winning. Managing the salary cap is something you're doing so that you can go down the line and you can win games down the line. You know what I'm saying? But as I point out, I feel like it's deja vu whenever I get to this point in my walk. I feel like, we'll say this team is built for the future, but it's also built for now. But then the future gets here and we're still getting to the same point. Or we're still sitting at home in February or late January. We're still sitting at home. We're still disappointed. And I'm not telling you guys not to pay attention to the draft picks. The reason I'm not going to tell you, it don't matter who they draft. It does matter. The draft process matters because there are young players out there that are going to get opportunities. And I feel like it's my due diligence when I do draft coverage or I'm doing this research and I know these guys, it's important to help these guys get a bag, right? Because the contribution to the game is always what the future holds, right? And so the stronger the future that you can build with the standard, then that's how you can also build a winning culture. Nobody's saying that Dallas's draft and develop process shouldn't be done. That's one thing that I do like. Well, I think we could develop a little better, personally. I think we could develop a little better. And I also think that we can get better players in here too. Those are things that we can argue. But in principle, what they're trying to do makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of what Kansas City does do. And that's why they do like the players that we get, because they've done their due diligence too. And they probably were going to draft those guys. Or, if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, Kansas City's picking at the end of the round every year. And for the most part, we're picking either mid to late. So we're all looking at the same players for the most part, the same type of pedigree of players. So make no mistake, when they go and we let go of a player and they get him, that was somebody they had high on their draft board, and they keep an eye on those guys if they ever hit the market or anything like that, because they've done their due diligence. They have researched. They have talked to these people's families. They have had meetings. They went to their pro days. They're very familiar with these guys. So it's important that we do make sure that we know who these young guys are. Also, it's a little cheat for fantasy football too, just to let y'all know. If you do know who these prospects are, I'm gonna give y'all a cheat code. I'll give a cheat code though to fantasy football if I get 45 likes. We got 82 people right now. You know what I'm saying? Get it to 45 and I'll give a cheat to fantasy football when it comes to the draft. I'm going to read some comments. If we get to 45, then I'll say it. Jamal Weeks said Chiefs got the refs as an insurance in case Philly don't stick to the script. That's funny. When you win games, sometimes the refs call games in your favor. Unfortunately, I've been in coaching, I've been on the other end of that. And we at 35, man, I just need 10 more. We get 10 more, I'll get that fantasy football. For the people that are just coming in, You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on my phone and I'm walking, I think that it's the right top hand corner. There's three dots. You gotta hit that in order to hit the like button. Cowboy Nation, stand up. Oh, Jabari Showtime said Taco was there the year they lost to Tampa, but the fact that they had him valued enough to bring him in, yeah. Drew said DMV Dallas is not as talented as you think. I keep telling you guys that. Go Birds. Y'all get better players than we do. I'll tell you that. Free agency and as of late in the draft, because y'all didn't always draft well. Y'all have been drafting like crazy the last couple of years. You know, players have fell to y'all. People have overthought the process. A lot of overthinking. A lot of GMs been overthinking what's been going on. What's up, JV? Drew said the Eagles have surpassed Dallas when it comes to drafting. Just look at our draft picks from 2020. I agree with that. I do think that Dallas overthinks sometimes. And me and Matt O was talking, me and Professor O, and we realized that Dallas don't really rock with a lot of big school guys. You know what I'm saying? We do not like swag in Dallas, bro. We don't. We don't like swag. We don't like people that's fine for having their socks a certain way. We don't like guys that walk around with the bravado. We don't like guys that score touchdowns for real. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what that's about. I think that I'm gonna say it straight up. And this is something that I would ask too. And I ask in a polite way, because I'll be 100 with y'all as a player. Ain't nothing wrong with being a try-hard. I was a try-hard. I didn't have wake up out of bed talent. I had to outwork people, or I had to, be in the right spots or do something that the competition just wasn't doing from a standpoint of executing. I was a try-hard. I had to bust my ass being a walk-on at Howard. I had to bust my ass every day. I had to have a perfect day every day. And when I didn't have a perfect day, you would get called out, like, get his ass out. Like, I don't ever want to see him take a rep again. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have ever been in that type of pressure situation, you know what it is. And I think that was Stephen Jones at Arkansas. Like, I didn't realize that Stephen Jones had played ball at a high level. I really didn't. I thought Stephen, just kind of grew into the role that Jerry gave him. Because no matter how you slice it, the role was given to him. But Stephen played 4 years of ball at Arkansas. He played 4 years. And I think he worked his way into being a starter. So Stephen, no matter how I want to slice it, Stephen knows ball. He also chooses business over the actual sport. He chooses business over winning. You can't say it. And when I say all that, I don't know if it's a vendetta, but as a try hard, bro. Like, do you feel like you don't draft certain players because of what their bravado is? Do you not bring them in because they remind you of somebody on your teams that you said to yourself, if I'm in a position, I'm never going to draft people like that? Because I'm just going to tell you guys, when we bring those guys into Dallas, they flip everything, and those players are exactly who we thought they are. I mean, for Christ's sakes, guys, we drafted Micah and CD, and they're some of the very best at what they do. They're some of the very best. These guys got swag. These guys got their own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? They got walk out of bed talent. And so I say, like, do you have an issue with those walk out of bed talent people? Because, I mean, we got our fan base literally trying to talk our way out of drafting the Ashton Genties, the Luther Burdens, you know what I'm saying, the Abdul Carters. We got our fan base literally trying to talk us out of certain players just because we know Dallas ain't rocking with him. So if Dallas ain't rocking with him, I mean, subconsciously, you're probably like, there's no point in me getting attached to this type of player because Dallas ain't going to draft him. Same thing happened in the coaching, with the coaching search. We did that to Dion, Flores, Glenn. You know what I'm saying? I know there was a push for Glenn. But we knew Dallas wasn't going to hire no black coach or give a black coach a real opportunity at interviewing for it. I mean, these are questions that I want to ask. Like, why don't we bring in qualified black candidates, you know, from somewhere else, from the outside? You know, that, like, think about this, right? And I say this respectfully. You look at D'Amico Ryans, and it's like, man, that guy's a hell of a coach. Just think about it. We would have never, like, even brought him in for an interview. And I'm not saying that that's going to win us a Super Bowl. Not saying that at all. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's about finding the best coach. And that's what I'm saying on the process of these players and coaches. Bruh, turn over every rock until we find what we're looking for. And sometimes what you're looking for might come in a different package. You know what I'm saying? It might come in a different package. It might look a little different than what you thought. Or maybe those candidates can show you something that you're lacking that you didn't lack. When we stay too close to what we've been already doing, you're not really growing. You know what I'm saying? You're not really growing. I'm not asking for no handouts, but I'm saying, why are we turning down certain talented players? Why are we, when we do get talented players, why are we asking them to change their ways into what hasn't been winning? Like, these are questions that I have to ask. These are cultural questions. These are vital questions. And then you got to ask, what has this way gotten us? What has this gotten us? Because in the grand scheme of things, we'll look at Washington and say, oh, that's only 1 year. You only did it for 1 year. Look, y'all, I'm on a steep-ass hill right now. So I'm breathing heavy. We'll say it's only 1 year. Washington won 12 games. And they went to the NFC Championship game. Got their back blown out. But they made it. So what the hell is 12 wins at this point? Washington just ruined 12 wins for me. They ruined it. You can say, well, we won 36 games in the 3-year span. Yeah, but what's that gotten us? What's that gotten us? The last couple years, what if we drafted guys that can't get on the field? We drafted guys that can't get on the field. But our later round guys, we don't have a choice but to play them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in a position to be turning down talent. Not in a position to be turning down talent when it comes to coaching and when it comes to players. This organization got to get its head out of its ass. We got to get our head out of our ass. And us fans, we can be better too. You know what I'm saying? We can be better too and asking for what it is that we want. We can be better. Like I told y'all, and you know where you're going to hear it from. get me some crispy black talent in here and some white Jesuses. And for those that are competitive, you know what a white Jesus is. You know what I'm talking about? Them white players that don't matter what hood you drop them in, they gonna do what they do. They ain't gonna care. You know what I'm saying? You might push them on the ground. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fight you. They gonna punch you. They gonna throw hands too. They're not afraid. Like, we don't need tryhard. We don't need too many tryhards. We got a team full of tryhards. You got a team that's destined to fall like we are. Because I can't name a team full of tryhards that won the whole thing. I can't name a team full of tryhards that have won the whole thing. Stop trying to draft players and get coaches that's for the story, right? And I got to get ready to end this because my phone getting ready to die. And I'm at the end of my walk, but we got to stop getting players and coaches for the story because we can sell a story. Man, F that story. The story is not important. What's important is what we put on the field. And if we put forward on the field and we make it about football, like Henny was talking about, you're not going to hurt your bottom line if you're trying to win games. You're only going to help your bottom line. That's what us fans want the ownership to understand. If you invest in us, we will invest in you. If you continue to not invest in the product that you put out there, we're no longer going to take it. So I'm going to end this stream with hashtag running backs matter. Make running back great again. Peace.